people, my people, my people. You know what it is. BSG, Black Star Guidance. You know who it is. Black Star. Thank y'all for coming back. Hope you guys having a beautiful day. As you can see, sitting out by the water. You know what I mean? Nothing but good vibes. Try to keep my vibes right. Get out in nature, like I've preached to y'all before, you know what I mean? Said before, I ain't gonna say preach, but like I've said before, you know what I mean? Tap in with nature. Stay connected to the source, you know what I mean? In all facets, in any way you can, you know what I mean? Find whatever you can. Even if you're just sitting outside in your backyard, put your feet in the dirt, or get to some water or something, you know what I mean? Anything. But anywho though, before we even jump into it, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. If you want to, share it. Actually, share it. Just go ahead, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it. Tell everybody about it. You know what I mean? Do what you can. Spread the word. Spread the word like wildfires. You can also, you know what I mean, follow me on my social media platforms at CEOH_BSP. That's my personal. That is also my TikTok personal. CEOH_BSP, and then you can follow me on Black Star Guidance, at Black Star Guidance on Instagram. I haven't made a TikTok for that yet, but I will be in the future, so keep a lookout for that as well. I'll let you know, obviously. And then if you want to, you know what I mean, you can go ahead and check out my merch. I got merch that's out now. It's been out for about 2 months now. You can go ahead and check it out. I'm not actually wearing any right now. You can see some generic stuff. You can check it out though, Black Star Clothing. Same spelling as Black Star, you know what I mean? How I get it down, just keep it rolling. And clothing is CLOTHXING. I'll put that down for you. Anywho, you know what it is, man. You know, just checking in, tapping in with y'all. It's been a minute. I try and, like I said, keep it rolling for you, as well as for myself, stay motivated, but just doing the stuff that I'm doing, man, it's time consuming. I'm only one person, and I understand that, and I also understand, me on a personal level. I'm a perfectionist, so you know what I mean, in terms of what I want and how I want it to look and how everything is packaged, you know what I mean? I'm real meticulous about that. Like, I'll let certain things go for the sake of, learning and just doing it and not getting in my way. But also, even within that, still trying to make it as possible, you know what I mean? Because, again, it's still me. It's still my essence, my energy, you know what I mean? So, I always try and, you know what I mean, get shit right tight. But anywho though, just want to tap in with y'all, and honestly, I don't really have much of a topic. I just want to talk to you guys, and just give you a little bit more about me, who I am, what I am, a little bit of some of the stuff that I've had to deal with and overcome in my life, and, for a lot of people, and for the from the outside perspective, you probably look at me and you might possibly assume things that you'd assume possibly good and bad things about me, you know what I mean? You probably notice the way I carry myself, you know what I mean, my presence, my aura, you know what I mean, the way I talk, my education level, you know what I mean, and just my sharpness, my laid back personality, you know what I mean? But then you probably also start nitpicking and, you know what I mean, kind of maybe, dislike things about me, and that's completely fine. I've went through a phase of really caring about what people thought and trying to please people, only to really find out and recognize that it's not about what anybody thinks about you. It's really truly honestly about what you believe in you and how you believe in yourself and how you feel about yourself. And you know, my growth as as a person, you know, it's really different. Like my background, you would probably assume, you know, that things again are, you know, just all peaches and cream, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean, I had the best of the best, but I actually didn't, you know what I mean? I struggled with a lot, and you know, to this day there are still things that, you know, I'm still working on in overcoming, as is everybody. You know, it's a never ending journey in healing and in progressing as a person and who you will ultimately become, you know, when time expires. You know, that person you are when time expires, not who you are right now, who you are 5 years ago or 5 years later. I mean, 10 years later, 15 years later. It's when the game is over. It's about that person when the game is over. You know what I mean? So, you know, just on some long ball, long game type stuff. You know what I mean? Like I went through a lot. You know, just dealing with confidence issues and, you know, self-doubt, number one, you know, and just having a heart and a mind that didn't necessarily, you know, fit my environment, truthfully. You know what I mean? Like in the past, I forced myself to be somebody that I wasn't, and I ended up losing myself. You know, I've spoke about this previously, but, you know, I didn't really go into, like, you know, I ended up losing myself, like everything about me, like the very, you know, you know how when you're like a kid and you have that like certain like innocence, yet, you know what I mean, like you don't really care about what people say, you know what I mean? You do what you're told, but in the regards to like caring about what people think about you, you're not even worried about that. That's not part of your thought process. That's not part of your psyche as a child, you know what I mean? So for me, because of my environment and just, you know, I mean, the attention given or not given, you know, that really affected a lot of who I was. You know, I didn't really grow up in a household where I was encouraged to, you know, express myself, and if I did express myself, my expression wasn't really heard, respected, nor really even cared about. You know what I mean? Like, it may not have been the actual scenario, but for me, you know, I grew up feeling like, you know, I was compared all the time, you know, to my older sibling, you know what I mean? And it was always more favor shown to my older sibling because of whatever the case, you know what I mean? And that really impacted me as, you know, as a kid growing up, you know what I mean? Just from the small basic stuff, like, you know what I mean? You get good grades. You don't get encouraged to, you know, keep going, and, you know, you don't hear the words that, you know, I'm proud of you. You know, those words as a kid, you know, growing up, and even as an adult, you know what I mean? Those words have so much power and are so impactful, just to, you know, honestly and genuinely take the time to tell somebody that you're proud of them. Like, you know what I mean? You again, you never know what people are going through in their lives as is, but just to, you know, from a friend perspective, a family perspective, a child perspective, any type of perspective, just to hear, hey man, I'm proud of you. That does so much for the psyche, you know what I mean? And for me, I didn't get that, you know. I got it in like different ways. I got it in different areas and different aspects, and then it was more of a feeling and burden that it was like I was supposed to, you know. It's my job to, you know, rightfully so, it is my job to go to school and, you know, achieve is as best as I can achieve. But you know what I mean? There was, for me, never no understanding to understand who I was to help me, you know, achieve said, you know, greatness or, you know, goodness at that level, you know what I mean? To really get the best out of yourself, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna blame it, you know. You gotta take, you know, responsibility, as I do, as I've gotten older and have really been able to look back on things in my life. Like I've taken responsibility for things, you know, even at the grade school level, the high school levels, and you know, when I went to community college, I take responsibility at those levels because there are, you know, again, the responsibility aspect of, you know, this is what you signed up for. But, you know, even with life, you know, none of us, you know, are made to, you know, not be in a supportive environment, you know, a nurturing, positive, reinforced environment, you know what I mean? And what you grow up in becomes your norm. So, you know what I mean? If you grow up in a house where, you know, nice things aren't said all the time, you know, that's just the person that you become. And you know, flow that energy out into the world. So now when, you know, you have kids and you got kids of your own, your kids is doing good things in school or whatever, or they're doing, you know, just things that are noteworthy of and worth you saying, hey, I'm proud of you, good job, you know what I mean? You don't say those things, you look past those things. So, you know what I mean, you are putting the same things in place that were in place when you were a child, you know what I mean? And that is going to affect them on the same levels, if not, you know, even deeper and differently, because, you know, we're our own people. We experience our lives, our stories are unique in their own, you know, own ways. So you never know how exactly that's actually going to impact, but you do have an idea because, you know, it's what happened to you. And we be blind to that, you know, and we don't necessarily see that. And, you know, we'll keep it going. We'll keep it lit. And, you know what I mean? Like for me, like, I grew. I wasn't always the best, you know. I'm still not the best, but I'm a lot better than what I was, you know what I mean? And just again, from the aspect of the environment and the positive self-talk, the positive self-talk has to, you know, come from self. You have to have that real positive image about yourself and believe in yourself. And it's been my belief in myself has been battle tested. It's been shaken. It's been, you know, shaken, not stirred. It's been kicked. It's been pushed. It's been whatever you can, you know, toss dirt upon, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've dealt with a lot to, you know, be what I am in this very moment right now. And you know what I mean? Like, just as far as, again, the environment and, you know, the things that I've talked about in my videos, the things that I've expressed in these videos are all deeply rooted in lessons that, you know, I have been able to actively, not only actively remember, but actively be able to express and share in a way to where, you know what I mean, it could be a token to help somebody else move forward in their journey, you know what I mean, a aid, a guide, a word of encouragement, anything of the sort, you know what I mean, just again, putting it out there to, again, say that, you know what I mean, whatever you're going through, you can overcome if you believe, if you are willing to, number one, put in that work. You gotta put in the work. No matter what you do in life, you gotta put in the work, and it's an ongoing thing, and you gotta be okay with it. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You know, you reap beautiful benefits, but, you know, also within the process, you know, you go through a lot of pain. You know, you gotta shed old skin. You gotta shed old habits. You gotta unlearn and relearn, and then you gotta unlearn and relearn again. You know, it's a real continuous process of, you know, getting new information, digesting new information, actively using that new information, and then applying it again. And in my past, I wasn't nearly as cognitive and quick with the understanding and the perspective. Like I still have my challenges now, you know what I mean? Of course, everybody does. And you know, that's also a perception about me. People think that because my demeanor about when I'm going through stuff, like, people really don't know what I'm going through, because I don't really, I'm primarily a close kept person. I don't like putting my stuff out there, because I mean, that shit I learned the hard way. You know, I used to be a lot more open to people, family, friends, about, you know, my business, my personal life, and you know, you find out who people really are, you know what I mean? But perception, you know, again, people may think that, you know, I just got it all together, you know what I mean? And it's just all sunshine and daisies, and you know, but again, it's really not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit's been hard for me. They think it's just a cakewalk, it's easy, but shit's been hard. Like, shit's really been tough. Like, I've dealt with homelessness on many different levels, you know what I mean? Like, I slept in my car in one period in my life, you know what I mean? And I've had no money to eat, you know what I mean? Like, I've battled with, you know, like, just addiction, you know, addictive habits. Not necessarily an addiction to one thing or another, but just addictive habits. Addicted to making bad decisions, you know what I mean? Addicted to impulse, addicted to shit, lying, addicted to running, addicted to, you know, just everything that was not of me, everything that is the opposite of, you know, what truly makes me happy, what truly makes me smile, what truly, you know, gives me joy, what truly, you know, helps my light shine, you know, sincerely, what really sincerely helps my light shine. And you know, it's a long, hard road to, you know, digesting and accepting the pains of your past, and most importantly, learning the lessons from your past and then letting them go, you know, moving forward with your life and applying what you learned as you move forward. Like, you know, that's probably been, you know, these last 2-3 years have probably been some of the more painful times in my life. Like, seriously, like, the decisions that I've had to make, the people that I've had to walk away from, the things that, you know, have been removed from my life, you know, for lack of, you know, just everything happens in seasons. Everything is a season and a reason. You know what I mean? While in that season, I questioned why these things is happening to me, and I felt, you know, the worst. Like, I really felt the worst. I felt like I couldn't go on. I felt like life was over. You know what I mean? I questioned giving up. I questioned living. I questioned, you know, everything, purpose, all of it. I questioned it all. My very being, my very, you know, just who I am. I questioned it all. And, you know, that's where I really began to shift. That's where I really found, you know, my inner voice, and, you know, started to, you know, walk in that, started to really listen, started to really trust. And, you know, over the time, I've grabbed the hand of, you know, my higher self, and have trusted it, and, you know, given in to, you know, just, I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, I'm the type of person where, because I'm so hands-on, I kind of like to know even if I can't control how it's gonna happen, if I can just know, it gives me a little, you know what I mean, a heads up to be prepared, what to prepare for, what to look out for. Like, and sometimes, you know, you just don't know, and this is uncharted territory. This is unfamiliar. This is as unfamiliar gets. I haven't been here before. I haven't been to this place before. I haven't found this peace before. I haven't found this within myself before. I haven't been able to flow with all the bullshit that I've dealt with before the way I can flow through it now. Like, it's amazing. Like I said, you get the points in your process, as hard as it gets, and sometimes as overbearing or overwhelmed as you feel with it. Sometimes you get to those processes where you get to, or periods in your process where you get to really sit down and breathe and think and, you know, release and exhale. And you know what I mean? I'm in the process of, you know, in transition and getting ready to move or whatever. So just having to go through some of the old stuff that I've had, not even knowing though, like unaware. Like, yeah, I've known that this stuff was in these boxes, but really just, you know, once you settle into a place, you're not thinking about the stuff that's still in boxes. You know, you got a garage, you're not worried about that stuff, so it's out of sight, out of mind. And just to go through and look at some of the things that, you know, I saw, was able to, you know, kind of not relive memories, but, you know, relive memories, you know, think about the energies and the mind state you were in that present moment in time, and really do some reflecting on, you know, your past, and accept the things that, you know, you're not happy about, and understand that you've made those changes in your life now, you know what I mean, and continue to move forward and release. And, you know, like for me, this little process that I went through within the last 2 weeks has been, you know, like, it's been unexplainable in some aspects, but then it's also been like challenging yet refreshing. It's nerve-wracking in one process, but then also there's a certain amount of calm that I have within this scenario that it's just like, you know what I mean, I'm not tripping, you know what I mean, because I just, you know, I believe. And you gotta believe, you gotta trust, you gotta, you know that where you going up, you're going better, you know what I mean? And that's really genuinely, truly how I feel. I feel like wherever I'm going it's up. It's only up from here, because I had already been down. These last 3 years, you know, those were some of my lowest points in my life. Like, I thought, you know, again, the things that I've gone through, and, you know, not wanting to go, you know, on further, like, you know what I mean, like, that's deep, you know, and that's not the type of person that I am. I'm not a quitter. I understand that in life in general, you gotta work, and things aren't always going to be a cakewalk. Some things are going to be easy for you, some things are going to be more challenging, you know what I mean? Everybody has their own unique skill set and what's easy for them and what's hard for them, you know what I mean? And it varies. It's a varying degree of, you know, everybody's, you know, maneuverability in their skill levels, you know what I mean? So I understood that, and, you know, with that, I'm you know, again, just trying to get comfortable again with, you know, where I am, but then also understanding that by the time I get comfortable with where I am, it's gonna be, you know, another progression, you know what I mean, another wave of, you know, movement, and just, you know, being on top of that. I didn't have the perspective that I have then, you know what I mean? Like, the journey is, you know what I mean, it's real. it happened young for me, but it didn't really ring my bell until later in life. Like, it was there, but I ignored it, and then it became unignorable, and got whacked over the head. And I don't necessarily want to just make it seem like through the whole 3 years it was just all terrible. There were moments where I was able to smile and I was able to laugh. I met some cool people in the process. You know what I mean? I met my twin in the process, and that was another thing that really like enhanced and changed my journey. Like, that shit sped my shit up to the point where I know who I am, I know what I am, I know what I can do, I know what I'm about, and I'm confident, grounded, and rooted in who I am. And you know what I mean? I'm comfortable enough to share a little bit about who I am and what I am and what I do, but then also still be smart enough to not share everything, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's how you protect your energy. The more you let out, the more angles, and you know what I mean? It's boo-boo juju out here too. Just like it's, good people out here, it's motherfuckers that's on that bullshit too. So, you know what I mean? You learn how to protect your energy. You learn how to be smart, straight up. We learn how to be smart. And this is all stuff that my journey has shown me. This is like as most up to date as possible. Like, the where I am now, as far as my understanding and my viewpoints and whatnot, like just culmination, wrap everything up, like as far as my manifestation abilities and knowing what I can do on that level, and like what I mean, like I'm whole. I'm as whole as I've ever been. Like my scars and the moments where I felt like I was still bleeding, I was still leaking from certain spots, like those spots have they scabbed up a while ago. I want to say they scabbed up a while ago, and now I'm at that junction in my process to where those scars ain't scars no more. They didn't turn back into regular skin, or maybe you see just a little bit of the impression of your scar, but it's that's slowly fading away as well. That's where I am in my process, like really letting shit go, letting it go. But I love y'all. Just a little quick chat.